Sziasztok, itt Antik és folytatjuk a Witcher 2-t. Most mit kell csinálni? Ja? Mondom, az fent van, nem? Hát az a zsák. Zsákos Frodó. Tök főzelék. Vagy vagyunk a pityulába? Súlyba. 250 kelet voltak, amilyen kéne. Nekem. Felvenni dolgokat. Ja? Tényleg, hát ezekkel segítek. Vagy ezeknek.
Damn it.
Azt hittem, hogy ad valamit. Elég itt most megpintett a jószág. Minden Balázs volt. Katanak a Balázs volt lánya. Remelhez legyen. Ott a kicsit megéve.
I'm impressed.
I've kept my end of the bargain. I hope you'll keep yours.
Be sure of it.
Take that.
I'm no rat to run around sewers. What we're looking for, anyway? Some graves, I heard.
Graves? So maybe there is something in this forest.
Shut your traps. What the sergeant to hear? You've been deep shite. It's a good idea.
We've got company.
Redanian bastards.
The entrance must be somewhere here.
If our experts are to be trusted.
Henna dabbled in illusions, among other things.
He also experimented heavily with golems.
Golems with the power of speech, supposedly. They knew nothing of poetry, but...
Will you two shut up?
Yes, it's an illusion. I found a weak spot. Stand back. Later Elorn, Lisa Elorn, later dear.
At times I'm caught. You can get my kind of feat. Though I have no needles, they say I am piercing. What am I?
Careful with the answer. It could be a trap.
Typical of dear Henna. He was a genius with a penchant for mischievous jokes, like a child.
So a couple of adults, purported experts, should have no problem solving this.
Indeed, it's trivial. The answer is pain.
Incorrect.
No! Impossible! So many years of research. Imagine the books.
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime. Short or long. But yours alone. Essential. I am.
Can you please repeat the riddle?
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime, short or long, but yours alone, essential. I am.
A dream.
Correct.
It's going rather well so far.
Not for everybody. Someone's been here recently.
Well, well, the competition's here. Kill them!
They must have descended straight from their quarter.
Let a Nordling.
Another guardian. Later Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later dear. It's reacting to my spell.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and flying. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this.
group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Too bad about Gaspar.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Ott az első, és sárkány kígyó, és ez is nő. Bár a nő az nem mutatkozik meg. Megvan, de látjuk az arcát. Ez lehet az utolsó, a barlangos. Ez nem. Nem tudom, bazd meg.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night, they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Gehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine."
It should be the dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows a unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
As I recall, the second verse was, "A silver lady shining and fine, if only her visage she would deign to unfold."
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the White Rose, symbol
Dit
of the
laatste
Order of the
bedoeld.
Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I think it
Man, I'm
describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand,
Szerintem a
has
hold
heard of
lesz
the
az, ha már
Imperial
csillagokat is
Nausicaa Brigade,
követtük,
which has
aztán
the
a
Death's Head as its symbol.
hold, mint
The
ezüst,
brigade's name
izé,
is female, and they
ennek
say
nincs
death follows
arca,
a unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be
de viszont
Nausicaa
kerek.
or the Death's Head.
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, "As above, so below." The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists. Those mountains are a vault in and of themselves.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches which guided the travelers by day.
Mi?
Can someone remind me how
Nappal.
the line was worded?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches which guided the travellers by day.
Nappalotozókat vezeti.
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and it...
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
I cannot hope to finish the research alone.
Mi van? Ő oda ment. Ő oda, és én megyek a... ide.
Intruder detected.
Hát nem volt jó. Valamelyik.
Our expedition has grown thin. Such a shame. I actually found those two amusing.
Shut up.
Of course, my lady.
Miért nem volt jó?
A golem. So Darehenna's legend is true.
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should be the one to...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head. Break the code.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest. Try.
My intentions are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Darehenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
So you're aware you're an automaton?
Do we really know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed? Is human life predictable in that the cycle of birth and death ensnares it? Better than mine. When a human is born, he is obedient to his parents. Later, he listens to tutors, masters, corporals. Finally, he succumbs to the will of death.
And to think that Adalbert questioned Darehenna's mastery. Who, if anyone, is allowed to pass?
Darehenna, but he is dead. Also guests may pass, but I stop intruders.
Tell me more. Who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Is it not obvious? A guest keeps his distance, or knows the name word. An intruder is anyone who enters too far, attacks me, or otherwise interferes with my being.
Has anyone tried to enter before?
I recall no intruders. I do, however, remember guests who left after being warned.
When was that? What did you discuss?
I am a machine. My memory is limited.
You're far more self-aware than a typical golem. Can you make sovereign decisions?
The Master made me the way I am, because long discussions were to his liking. I can make decisions, within my program, of course.
So you decide who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Who else would? Guests chat innocuously, exerting no pressure. All others are intruders.
I have other questions. Do you remember your creator?
Of course. I was summoned into being by Master Dehenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Dehenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on, as does his legacy, which I protect. Empires will rise and fall, rivers will shift their courses, but I will remain obedient to one master on my eternal watch.
You're not an automaton. You're self-aware, and you think. You can make decisions.
You're wrong. I am eloquent and can discern between guests and intruders. I can also deal with the latter. But everything I say and do is limited by my restrictive program. By the way, as an automaton, I am immune to all charms. Stop the intruders.
How many more can there be?
Let's have a look. This is better than I'd hoped.
A great success for Nilfgaard.
Yes, we should notes about the
Maybe you'll
city's
get that
history.
promotion.
Dehenna mentions some bacteria strains.
Can you feel that?
My medallion's vibrating.
Another masking illusion. I'll try to disperse it. Later and Lorne. Lisa and Lorne. Later, dear!
Notes from a trip he took to Zeracania. The device. What is it?
You've done your job. You'll be paid and...
Paid like the scholars were? They died once they were no longer useful.
They were never useful, but Cynthia insisted. Fortunately, they were so kind as to remove themselves without my help.
I'm not about to be that kind.
Adelbert, you know what you're to look for.
Yes, Mom.
It's a prototype megascope. I didn't know it had survived.
What's it do?
The artifact detects an emotional bond with a person. Its user need only focus on that person and the device will establish a connection.
Great tool for a spy.
Yes.
Time you fulfilled your end of the bargain. What do you know about my past?
You were a rider of the Wild Hunt. I read the reports.
Don't the Nilfgaardians have anything better to do than write reports about witchers?
Not about witches. About you. You are the sole person to have been a member of the host. And survived.
I was sure you'd try to cheat me. Gotta admit I was wrong.
You were sure and you came with us anyway.
I was curious. I wanted to see what Nilfgaard was after.
Your payment. You were well worth the coin.
I wonder where we'll meet next. What it'll be like.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll be allies once more.
Dren describes finding an important document about the Vrans. Damn, you're ugly.
Jó, kibírok találni innen. Kiba. B. Ho, ho, ho. Hogy kell neki? Én biztos, hogy el kell kimenni, mert ha ide kiléptem, akkor kijött az, hogy fel akarok-e menni a felszínre, vagy ugye itt maradok. Hát persze, hogy tudom. Mert így itt tudok idétlenkedni, akármeddig is. Na jó van, most megindulok és többen. Átgondolom logikusan. Merre kell menni. Leszarom a kardokat, megyünk tovább. Az előbb erre miért nem jöttem? Isten. De megnézzük ott mi van, mi lenne a vasinc.
Guess they'll never learn.
Megölt egy csigabiga.
At your service.
So, are you a sorceress now?
It's not that simple. A pass is simply not enough. But Philippa Eilhart summoned me here for an important exam, so I hope to be one soon.
An exam?
A secret one. I'm not even sure how to prepare. I'm cramming intensely, everything bit by bit, just to be sure.
Good luck. Still willing to sell me potions and herbs?
I'm a student, aren't I? Every little copper counts.
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought
Mages aren't known for being polite.
you're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. They've all forgotten me, and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Can't.
Ja, ha már 2 van benne, akkor biztos kifogyulodnak itt megütök. És hova kell menni? Ezek kik ezek?
Leave the royal courts, pour venom into rulers' ears.
Jó van, én szerintem innen folytatjuk akkor. Sziasztok!